Hello there, Ringside Crew.
Hello there, Ringside Crew.
Hey dudes at Ringside Crew, this is Davian.
Hey, it's Jenny Santana.
This is Alfie.
This is the Savage Juggernaut, Tamaku.
Ringside Ring!
This is Thomas D. Bruff.
This is Billy Starks.
Mr. Chad Epic.
Megan Mason.
Hey everybody, Scotland's own Brody Adler.
The headliner in charge, Marco Mania.
This is your girl Charisma.
Papa Dink, Brendan Dicker.
This is According to Woods.
Savannah Summers.
I'm Shorty.
Tasman inside.
You are watching
The internationally known
Dudes at Ringside podcast, hosted by Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr.
Hello there, wrestling fans. Hey, Sam. And welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am your host, Joe the Panther the Third. And now from the top of Metal Mountain all the way down to all 50 states and the globe, it's the happy heel himself, the Metal Geek.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, Joe? How's it going?
Not too much, Geek. You know, not for nothing, but I think we got another first today. Yeah. So, Geek, you ready to introduce the guest?
Yeah. So, let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to the biggest, baddest mob boss in Russia, head of the Men of Brutality, manager for Money Changes Everything. Give it up for Anika.
Hello. Thank you so much for bringing me here today. I'm very excited to be in this podcast. I've never done anything like this in America before, so I'm really excited to see what we're going to talk about today.
No problem, Anika. Welcome. See, you have my fellow feline friends in the background. It's cool to have some felines in the area that are cool. So, Anika, is this your first podcast you've ever done?
This is actually first podcast I've ever done. It's very nice. It's very professional looking. I do appreciate that. I am a woman of taste and a woman of quality. So when I see it, I do appreciate it.
Oh, so no, you're welcome. So who trained you?
Oh, it's a long story. So I'll take you all the way back to Mother Russia. So I was born in St. Petersburg, Russia. And I was raised by my father, who was the head of the Men of Brutality there, the mob for Russia. And so I obviously grew up in that kind of environment. I was very good at fighting. I made sure that I knew how to run business, all of that. So I spent most of my life in Russia, but then we sent my brother over here to Cincinnati because we wanted to start recruiting for our mob. Looking for the biggest, baddest fighters in all of the world. Obviously, world domination was key, so we were very excited to kind of expand our empire outside of Russia. So we sent my brother. His name was, what was my brother's name? Andre. They liked to call him Macaroni, but he's half brother, okay? He was sent over here with Big Cuz. Big Cuz was a 7-foot monster. He was supposed to help kind of lead the charge, and they did absolutely nothing for years. They won zero things, and we recruited absolutely nothing. So I had to come back maybe 3 years ago. I came to Cincinnati to take care of business of my own, and he is no longer with us. And now I have taken full charge of the Men of Brutality. Now I'm taking initiative. I'm in Money Changes Everything with Sinclair Octavius Bentley, the baddest man around. And I'm really starting to pick up steam. So when I moved to America, sorry, English is not so good. Okay. When I moved to America, I had to learn how to do all of this wrestling. And it's very much, it's similar to the kind of lethal combat that I was raised in. So I was very familiar with it, but I had to kind of pull back or else I might actually kill people. And I don't want to get exported back to Russia, not right now. So when it comes to when it comes to Cincinnati, I actually started with the wrestling where my brother was. And he worked with Roger Ruffin at the Northern Wrestling Federation here in Cincinnati. He is one of the greatest people I have ever met in my life. Like, he really knows how to run an empire, and I do respect that. As somebody who is in charge all of the time, I do see that. So Roger is the man who taught me everything that I know. The benefit of the Northern Wrestling Federation is that everybody is so willing to feed into my evil plans. Everybody was willing to really teach me from the ground up how to take over this arena in America, and it was so easy for me to do. I don't consider myself an evil person, but I do have nefarious purposes here, and Americans are just so easy to trick, and so they've taught me everything.
Hey, Amber, how you doing? That's one of our fellow wrestling friends. She's from the UK.
Hello.
She's staying up late to watch us. So
yes, she's Amber Joe. She's actually
very nice.
She'll be competing in a match. I think this week, Geek.
Yeah.
I totally botched this. I totally forgot to do my normal intro with the guests. If our fans aren't familiar with you, introduce yourself.
Of course. Yes, not very many people know of me, obviously. I've been working in the shadows for so long. So my name is Anika Makarov. I come from St. Petersburg, Russia. And again, biggest, baddest mob boss in all of Russia. No big deal, I have a lot of business that I do. And my main focus right now is really to take over the American sector, to make sure that we're recruiting all of the best fighters that we can, so that we can take back to Russia and then we can dominate the world. So that's what I do.
Gotcha. So, what was your first match like in front of a crowd, Nika? Or
So, my first real match, where it was like a one-on-one fight, it was actually a title match. It was against Ella. It was last weekend, actually. And she fought tooth and nail. She's got a lot of mental issues. She's very disturbed. She talks to her doll a lot. We did end up taking her doll hostage for a momentary second, and she went kind of crazy, and that's kind of where things went haywire. But for the most part, I consider myself the winner of that because we were able to get into her head. You know what I mean? So that was great. I mean, I finally got to let off some steam, finally got to hit people, I finally got to pull hair. It's been such a long time since I've actually gotten my nails into somebody's eyeballs,
Amber Joe says she loves your accent, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much.
You would like Amber. She has a British accent.
You. Oh, let's everybody. Hello, Ripley. This is Ripley. She was named after the alien person.
All I can think is Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Ripley from Aliens, right?
Yes.
Yep.
That would be oh gosh. Hopefully I'm not wrong. That's the Sigourney Weaver character, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes, nailed it. Of course, I would know Sigourney Weaver. Come on, she kills aliens in her sleep, and she gets possessed by Zool all the time.
Well, when it comes to protection, obviously I'm here alone. I have my people down on the street. I have the mob watching out for me at all times. Very good. But I like to have a little bit more intimate kind of protection. So I hire these guard cats to make sure that they scratch out the eyes of anybody who comes in that is not welcome here. That is basically like a Russian welcome,
Jeez.
Now Geek's like, definitely check off list. Don't go go to Nika's house.
What's his name?
Ripley.
It's Ripley.
Yeah. For the longest time, it could have been a boy or a girl. I wasn't sure, and so Ripley seemed to work.
Yeah. So, what places does Anika want to travel to that she has not traveled to yet?
Well, obviously, I want to travel all over the world. because I want to build my army. I want to be able to control everything. So there's no place that I would not touch. Even Antarctica. I'm sure there are penguins out there that are pretty vicious. So I would really like to see. But right now, the most exciting match that I have lined up, I have a show in Ontario, Canada, coming up March 20th, and that was Courage Pro Wrestling. They have a nice little federation up there, so we're starting to really make this movement a little bit more international. So it's a big step for world domination, is really us reaching out past the American borders. Obviously, there's still more work that we have to do in America. I have shows and fighting for titles all over the place. Grindhouse Pro in Indiana. I have let's see, Northern Wrestling Federation. I still need to work for the title that Ella kind of grabbed back at the last minute. So I have a lot of things on my schedule right now. But really, it's the Canada show that I'm most excited about.
Keith, put that back on the screen.
Sorry, I'll join your army as an Italian Mexican woman. I'm double great with mobs.
Oh, a woman after my own heart.
Just remember that name, Amber Joe.
There is no more fierce person than the Italian Mexican woman.
Amber Joe, you gotta remember to recruit her. You gotta recruit her.
She's gonna find you on Instagram.
Yes. I really need to get started on that website so that we can actually start physically recruiting people instead of kidnapping them and forcing them to join.
Amber, careful, she may kidnap you, and then you'll be like, how did I get over here? Wait, what?
You're welcome.
Joe, go ahead. Next question.
So, is there any, as you said, like you're trying to recruit people, but is there anybody that you've seen in any other indie promotion that you've been watching on YouTube or seeing them on Instagram? You're like, I think they would work good in my mob.
Well, always a fan of the Downhausen. Not really indie promoter anymore. He's with AEW now, but big fan of that. If I had to choose an indie wrestler that I would really like to get my hands on, I would say, if it was possible, James Cross. So James Cross is currently the unified champion for Northern Wrestling Federation. Not many people have heard of him, but he did one of the biggest betrayals I've ever seen. He came out, I have to give you a little backstory. So he came out, called this guy Jimbo. He was this backwoods, absolute redneck kind of person. And everybody loved him. He shook everyone's hand. He was the biggest hero of all for many years. And then, all of a sudden, James Cross, who he really was in secret, came out. And he just showed everybody, especially all the Americans, how stupid they were to believe in him. And they hate him now. And he is nothing but a spoiled brat. And I love when somebody can really get under the skin, especially with the audience, to get them really involved. He really knows how to capture the audience's attention and destroy their heart.
That's always the best part, because like when you're a certain type of like heel or face, is always a button you touch as a wrestler, and you know what to say at the right time, and it hits the right note with the crowd. Have you ever said something on the microphone that the crowd just like blows up, like immediately like lights up when you say something? Like,
well, I don't know if you remember, there's this thing called the Super Bowl, right? It is American ball throwing. And so there is this big event that happened a couple of weeks ago. And the Bengals, for like the first time in 30 years, were at the Super Bowl. It was a huge deal for Cincinnati. Everybody was up in arms about it. So what do? I make sure that I get all of my Rams gear, and I go out dressed as a Ram on Super Bowl weekend. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
And they won. And your brand.
And they won. I blessed them, and they won. And Bengals don't need a Super Bowl they just need to know that they can try.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You just a lot. You should have said, "You're welcome."
You're welcome.
Is it kidnap if you'd enjoy it? And
Well, depends on the context, I suppose.
I already could see it. I already sensed the friendship between you and Amber.
Yes, we will be great friends and
Great
take over
friends.
the world together.
And you never know. See, the friendship becomes friends, and it's all because of Dudes Ringside.
Exactly. We make Dudes at Ringside. We're always making connections.
Making connections.
It's like we're always having Anika recruit for more people, right? Always, right?
We could be your podcast, even though we won't be able. We don't do ring gear. We don't work in the ring. We work on the opposite side as commentary. So we could be your commentary as your team beats somebody down.
Just as important. Somebody has to report the news, right? We can't just be the person doing it all the time, right?
Exactly.
Geek's gonna turn on me, and he'll be commentary. I'll be the one outside going, "Wasn't I supposed to be on the show with you?" "Oh no, Joe, no, you got fired."
No, not this time, no.
No, you're fired, Joe. No.
You're fired,
What?
Joe. You're fired. Sorry.
Like, what?
Who are some of your favorite opponents that Anika loved to work with?
Oh, goodness. Right now, I'm really enjoying tearing apart this boy. His name's Beck. He is a private investigator. And he is trying to get to the bottom of what our plans are. Obviously, I don't like other people's noses in my business, so I have to cut it off, right? And so I take all of Money Changes Everything. That includes people like Warlock. Love Warlock. He's one of my favorite, bestest friends. He's fantastic. We have Warlock. We have Chris Demise. We have Sinclair Octavius Bentley. And we have Alex Hayden. And my entire team went out, completely broke Beck's ribs, and they continued to break his ribs. So like, he does not recover. He's just constantly in the state of being broken, and it's very enjoyable to watch.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's Anika's favorite food?
Well, borscht is kind of a cop out, so I won't say that. But if I had to choose, I really do enjoy a good cold soup. It reminds me of home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Us here in America, we would have the soup with a little half sandwich, like a
yes.
We love
Because
pizza.
you need your bread, you need to fatten up for whatever reason. It's not like you need to stay warm for anything.
Yeah. Well, we are getting snow tomorrow here on the East Coast, so.
There's a lot of snow in Russia.
No, we call a regular Tuesday. You know, it's.
They have a lot of snow in Russia, Joe.
That's why I said that these people here, where I live in Pennsylvania, the weatherman says snow, and they all start freaking out like that guy on YouTube. "Oh no, he said snow, gotta get the bread and milk."
It's actually one of the reasons why I love Russia so much, is because you can definitely dig and hide your secrets much better in ice than you can in the ground. As long as we stay frozen, all of our secrets will remain underground, and there's nothing you can do about it. So it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So what do you prefer being, a heel or face?
I do not consider myself a bad person. So first and foremost, I am not a bad person. I am just somebody who wants to control everything.
Yeah, Joe, why are you insulting her, Joe?
Insulting? I was just asking a question.
I do not choose face or heel. I choose to step outside of that and define myself as a leader. Okay? And so whether or not somebody believes that I am a face or a heel, that's really on them. But at the end of the day, if I'm doing my job right, then I have a full army, and the title doesn't really matter, you know.
Okay.
What is Anika's favorite movies?
Obviously, The Godfather.
The Godfather.
You grew up on that. I was basically born in the middle of all of that, so it was fantastic for that to be kind of the material that I grew up on. Other movies that I really love, I love Saw. The creativity in how you torture people.
Oh, jeez.
Unreal. Really enjoy any horror movie, really. Final Destination is big fan of Final Destination. I love seeing how close everybody is to death at all times. It really makes you feel alive and appreciative. Same thing with Saw. So anything really that has a lot of gore and detail so that I can get more ideas, that's where I'm going.
How could somebody join your mob?
They simply need to ask. They simply just need to message me, say they want to be a part of the mob, and all you need to do is just pay a small fee and lose a limb of some sort. You get to choose. After that point, you're basically in for life, because the only way out is death.
Okay, that's great to know.
Yes.
Great. Amber, you hear that? Girl,
Are you sure you want to join her mob? I don't know if it's a good idea.
you may have to lose a toe, a pinky.
First of all, we bake cookies every Sunday, so I would say that's it. Pretty much evens out.
She's trying to sweeten the deal right there.
There you go. Amber. We'll get cookies, but then you may lose a finger or a toe. You'll be the toeless. You'll be the toeless champion. She's actually. See, this is why you gotta take your flight to England, because Amber's competing in a match. I think it's Amber. Is it this Saturday in England that you're facing?
She's still in the chat.
Yeah, she said yes, with a bunch of S's, but she is competing in a championship match, and I think the deal will be sweeter if you're in the corner and she wins the title because of.
Obviously, I'm a big cheerleader. I very much enjoy seeing people getting pounded into the dirt for the sake of MLB. So, anytime I can see that, it's fantastic. Especially ringside; those are the best seats.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Do you have any stories from training or being a mob boss?
So many, and mostly I would have to kill you if I told you most of them.
Oh, jeez.
So I don't have the time or the resources right now to kill you. So I'll play it safe. Let's see. There was one time back when my brother was alive and he was fighting for the NWF. He was a part of a rumble of some sort. It was a contract on the pole match. And that was during Big Fan Fest. It was like the WrestleMania of the Cincinnati area. It was fantastic. I think my favorite part was when he actually got boxed in the ears and his ears started bleeding. And then he fell out of the ring. And then I actually grabbed his ear and then pulled him out off because he hadn't won the contract. So obviously I wanted to make sure that he really understood how much he messed up. Very, very funny. Very good time.
Wow. Oh boy. Geek.
I just asked about the stories.
All right. Is there anything you collect, Anika?
Oh, well, other than fighters, I'm a big fan of accessories, as you can see. Just high fashion at all times. I love a good ironic t-shirt, you know. Not much that I collect other than like I do keep souvenirs, things like earlobes, teeth, stuff like that to remember all of my kills. But other than that, nothing much.
Okay.
Is there anything else?
Okay. That's it.
That's it?
Beautiful.
All right. So
you know what? I got one more. What do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
Well, obviously, ruling over the world. I only have a limited amount of time. We only have so many years on this earth. I would really like to see full world domination. Russia in charge of everything, everybody living in fear. Those are really like the top goals that I have.
Okay.
Where can people find Anika if they want to join your mob?
Well, you start at the Northern Wrestling Federation in Cincinnati. That's where I do most of my work. But I do travel all over the place. They can join any of my social media platforms. I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook most of the time. But if you join that, I will be able to show you my tour schedule, where I'm going to be dominating next. And so you can kind of like, it'll be like a fun game. You can have like a checklist of all the places that I've dominated. And once you have all of the 50 states, then we can start moving internationally. So it'll be a good time. But you can actually see my domination in real time.
Okay. I'm Metal Geek.
I'm Joe Panther III, and
I'm Anika.
and we will see you in the next one.